I've often thought about what would the perfect player look like.
It might play the game in a completely different way from the way that we play it.
As a chess player, you want to know more about chess, you want to get deeper, and there is so much still to learn.
AlphaZero played a match against Stockfish, which was the strongest computer that we all knew, and it won the match.
And all of a sudden I thought, wow,
does this really work? How does it know how to do it?
I started thinking, oh, it's quite interesting. And there's just a couple of games that went bang.
And these were very exciting games, very attacking games, giving pawns away right at the early stages of the game. The other computers were thinking, well, that's too early.
AlphaZero doesn't have any rules. It learns through experience.
Really didn't think there was room for this huge attacking style, never in my wildest dreams.
There's even more depth than we thought in chess.
It's like discovering the secret notebooks of some great player from the past.
It explains AlphaZero's strategies.
How does AlphaZero think? AlphaZero blows apart what traditional engines are doing.
Oh. There we are. We're both the same size. Sorry about that, Natasha. Welcome, everyone, to the stream for round 7, I think, of the Open Championship and the Women's Blitz Final. Hello, Natasha. How are you doing?
Hi there. I'm just finishing off my tweets. You've caught me again. I'll be about 2 seconds.
You were looking incredibly concentrated, it must be said. So
I was concentrating.
Indeed.
There we go. Gone. All done.
Gone. All good. All good. So, yeah, welcome, everyone. Hey, Petzer. More exciting chess tonight. Yeah, we've got some, welcome to the stream. We've got some slow and some fast, basically. So we've got the guys playing slow and the girls playing super fast. We've got the Women's Blitz Final and we've got the round 7 of the Open Championship with some very good games.
And not just that. We are hoping to have a couple of interviews tonight. One with the Chief Arbiter, Shoei Bayat, who is also multi-talented. She's also playing in the Women's Blitz event tonight. And we are also hoping to speak to Grandmaster Ketty Grant, who just won the Women's Championship with an amazing 7 out of 7, completely unbeaten. Didn't even drop any draws. So hopefully we will speak to both of those two tonight. But we also, before we even get to that, we have some amazing games for you. So let's have a look at the pairings in the Open. So in the Open round 7 on top board, we have a very exciting encounter between Grandmaster Daniel Fernandez and Grandmaster Michael Adams. So Michael is now on 5.5 out of 6. And he's got a down float now. There's no one else on 5. We've got Matthew Turner. Sorry, no one else on 5.5. Matthew Turner on 5. Daniel Fernandez on 4.5, and Amit Ghazi on 4.5. So the top board clash is Daniel Fernandez against Michael Adams, and board 2 is Matthew Turner against Amit Ghazi. And I've seen in the chat, well played Rob Wilmoth in the over 50s. So let me just check if he has won the over 50s. Very nice guy, Rob Wilmoth. That will be a popular victory.
Open up the window because they have started.
Oh, stop talking about other things then. Rob Wilmoth second, it looks like. Well done to Clive Frostick for the over 50s.
Clive Frostick.
Second place. Fantastic. Great results, everybody. Tim Kett in third.
Okay, so what have we got here? We start off with we've got the games first of all in the Open Championship, and they're coming along quite quickly. We've got Matthew Turner against Amit Ghazi, and Matthew Turner playing a solid variation G3 against Amit Ghazi's possible King's Indian. We're going to see what Matthew's going to play a c4 system, so going to the main line, or whether he's going to try and play. He's going c4.
He has done. I was about to say I don't think he will, but he has. He's just done it.
Yeah, no, I mean he often. It would be a well. The thing is, I mean, frankly, often you play these offbeat systems. For example, here, you play castles, and then you play rook e1, and you play for e4 and try and avoid c4. But Amit plays the perk. He plays all this sort of stuff, so it's not really it's not really worth avoiding it against him.
No.
It's more you might as well just go for a main line and try him out in that. And actually, Amit, I don't know whether this is a normal line, but he surprised me slightly because he normally plays stuff with c6 and a6. And here he's gone straight for knight c6, which is one of the main lines. So going to be quite interesting. Going to see which line Matthew plays. This is the eternal. We've mentioned this before, but the eternal Arkle-Hebden rivalry in this line, and
which both of these players will be very familiar with, I suppose, because Matthew Turner has been good friends with both of those for years and years, and Amit, I think, where does Amit come from? I think he comes from the same area of the country where near where Keith Arkle was living.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. I don't actually know where he lives, but
I'm not quite sure how their games went. But it was something with an e4 e5 an e4 e5 push, and
Nottingham in my mind. But I could be completely. I could be completely wrong.
End of stack here, but there's plenty of popular lines here from this position. Bishop f4 is the hot move at the moment, followed by rook c1, and that's been scoring fairly well for white. But we're going to see which one Matthew Turner plays. He's having a think about it. Presumably a tiny bit surprised, as I am, that Amit is playing this line. But I mean, that's all quite normal. Let's have a look. Am I seeing either Michael or actually? I seem to remember that I had some problems following Michael last time in this way. So see whether I can do that. Mickey Adams. No,
yes, I do have it. Daniel Fernandez, Mickey Adams has started.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it luck is my skill, isn't it?
Yes, I've done PM Mickey Adams.
Luck is my skill. There we are. It's GM Mickey Adams. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is a London system from
yes. Keith Arkle's Paynton, but he moved there. I mean, and my geography's a long time out of date, but he must have moved there 10 years ago or something. I don't know.
Right, Jeff3 Castle.
Hi to Keith Arkle if you're watching, and to Treddy 007.
So this is a London system, pretty normal. Mickey's playing it in a slightly subtle way here. He's delaying putting the knight onto c6. Now I'm sure that's got a special point because a lot of people, I think c3. Let me just get an analysis board up. Wrong. There we are. Analysis board up.
He did drop half a point yesterday, and that was to Bogdan, and neither of those players. Yes, it's very hard to beat some of the players in this event, but I don't think people are going to stop Mickey unless there's something, unless something happens like a misclick or something unusual. He's so strong, but anything can happen. We've got so this game and 2 more after that.
So here after c3, which is the normal move. Now, if you go knight c6, then I think white's playing bishop b5 quite often. So I'm wondering whether Mickey's idea is just to delay that and maybe play b6 first. And force black to maybe play bishop d3, white to play bishop d3 or something, and then just go knight c6 after. I'm just wondering whether there's some subtle point to this move order. White has gone c3. So we'll see. I mean, these are kind of the older main lines, knight c6. Been a lot of games in there, but also some computer games, which are quite interesting as well. Queen c7, yeah, there definitely is some subtlety going on, just avoiding developing the knight on c6, and avoiding this move bishop b5. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes. This I'm sure Mickey knows this very, very well. Yes, indeed, YM. They do always play queen c7, but often the knight's on c6 normally. So I think Mickey's avoiding this on purpose. So quite interesting. Oh, let's have a look. We've got Trip Thomas Villiers against Rock Troll.
Okay.
We thought that one would be interesting.
I think this is going to be a lively one. So Rock Troll famously the other day finished his game with the move as white, knight from g6 to h8. Which led to a mating attack. And this was 3 a.m. for him, Vietnam time. Thomas Villiers has been playing some very exciting and trappy games. And so I'm hoping tonight we end up with like a knight on h8 and a knight on a1 or something like that, expecting tactics all over the board in this one. So we will keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and Thomas Villiers yesterday played a glorious queen takes d5 just for Natasha. So
that's right. He could have done bishop takes, the safe move, but he gave up his queen to deliver checkmate. It was very, very nice.
Indeed. So and actually, it's already getting a little bit weird here because White's played this maneuver knight b5 to d4 already, aiming for f5. And well, Rock Troll Tristan Cox, he tried a very quick g4 against Matthew Turner yesterday and came a bit unstuck. But I get the feeling that Tom Villiers is really looking to do the same thing. So we're going to see how that turns out. This is going to be a good game. We'll keep an eye on this one. Let's have a look. Who else have we got here? We've got I'm seeing Harry Grieve against Julia Volovich. So that's a very unusual way of playing. So bishop b5 check is very normal. Bishop d7. White always takes on d7 normally in these positions, but White's gone bishop e2. I'm struggling to think why the bishop would be worse on d7 than c8, to be honest. But yeah, there might be a subtle reason, or maybe Harry's just decided he just really does want to keep the pieces on after all.
I wonder if Julia normally likes to fianchetto her bishop or something like that. Try and throw her off her normal game.
I don't know, but this is this is very new because you can play bishop e2 immediately if you want, but yeah, you don't usually force bishop d. I mean, bishop d7 is just a developing move, so it's a rather odd one.
Maybe
there, but,
how about he wants to go knight e5 and hit the bishop?
That's possible, but yeah.
Yeah, you're not convinced.
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah, I know these positions quite well. Slightly surprised by bishop b5 to e2, but we will see. So now we've got Mark Hebden against Alex Goss, and playing a Jababa London system. Mark c5 e3 a6. Oh, this is very interesting actually because a6 is quite a common move. With the idea of stopping knight b5. And well, most white players end up playing knight f3 in this position. But Mark has grabbed the bull by the horns and he's gone d takes c5. And after knight c6, he's played a3. Let's just have a little look at what the theory is on that, because that's quite interesting. And I'm always intrigued with Mark because Mark's got a lot of little ideas, and he works them out, very thoroughly. It's one of his big strengths here. So just interested to see how often this has been played. Knight c6, pretty common, and then a3 from Mark. Not the most common move, a3. Knight f3 has been more normal. So a3 here from Mark, and yeah, I mean black can play e5, quite an aggressive move. H6 has been played as well, which looks a little bit odd. E6 is fairly normal. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one theoretically, just to see what Mark has got for us. Sean the Prawn. He was watching our stream this morning and had a very dramatic game yesterday where he looked like he was winning all the way, and then just at the end it all went horribly wrong. But he managed to get a draw by Perpetual. Here he's playing white against Jem Gurner, Chelsea Kings, the man from Jersey, and
Yes.
Playing quite aggressively here. Bishop H on H6, playing F4 now, so could have a lively game there. I mean, Black's got to decide. Are you going to
I
play
don't
Bishop
expect
F6?
it will take on C3. I'd be surprised about that because the white bishop then looks very strong. So I expect he's going to drop back.
Yeah, it feels a little bit uncomfortable, but it might be. The problem is after there, F takes E4, Knight takes E4 is going to hit the bishop. So I think if you play Queen D2 and then castles, it's looking a little bit, or even a move like Queen B3, you know, hitting B7. It's, I mean, what Black does have after Bishop F6 is the idea of Knight G8.
Oh, and the bishop.
So for example, if you would go, let me put up an analysis diagram. But if I go, if you go Bishop F6 and I go, for example, Queen B3, then there's Knight G8, and you're attacking this one, and you know Bishop G5. Well, Black's actually going to win a pawn. Yeah. I don't know how happy you are with that. I mean, Knight D5 looks horrific, really, but there are ideas like that. I mean, well, it's complicated, but I like Sean the pawn's position. I think that started pretty well.
What about B unit? Carry on.
Oh, wait a minute. I just wanted to. I'm looking for B unit. Actually, I can't see him yet. So
he sometimes starts late, doesn't he? B
and I think I'm not allowed to. I think I'm not allowed to follow him. I think there's some reason.
Maybe he set it up so no one can.
Yeah, he is there playing against Diamond, so we'll have a look. But there are some players that don't allow you to follow them. So and this is an interesting one because this is Tashika Aurora against Oscar Idol.
Yes.
Oscar came into our
stream. We had a bit of a preview in our chat this morning, and Oscar was watching Tashika's game. We were analysing Tashika's game, and Oscar was commenting that he liked to play the same openings that Tashika does, and also that they're both quite tactical players. So we're expecting a bit of a tactical game today.
Now, I think we're seeing that Oscar prepared because so Tashika normally plays G3 and puts the bishop to G2. So with the line that he played here, I think he was tempting Tashika to go G3 when D takes E4 is quite a sharp line. But Tashika took on D5 this time first and went G3. So I think just sidestepping that. But in principle now, this is when you get this sort of position with Black and White plays G3, which is only really pointing against a wall of pawns here on D5, and Black's taken on D5, then White's taken on D5 rather. Then this should be nothing special for for White in general. It should be a pretty easy development for Black, but not bad for White either. So we're going to see how the game continues. In actual fact, you're playing an exchange Caro-Kann. You're playing the black side of an exchange Caro-Kann with White, if that makes sense. So, we're going to see how that goes. Yeah, Magnus and Hikaru getting knocked out, but yeah, I'm very surprised about Hikaru, to be honest, because he's just a rock in these rapids. I mean, Magnus against Dubov. Dubov is just a very irritating and confusing player for Magnus, I think. And he normally gets out on top, but it's always possible that he doesn't. Reminds me a bit actually of Kramnik against Shirov, because Kramnik always had these crazy games against Shirov where he was always seeming to be better. And then somehow something bizarre happened and he lost. You had problems with Shirov, and that reminds me a little bit of Dubov against Magnus. But I'm not surprised. I mean, they
was super motivated, so that always helps.
That always helps, yeah. I mean, these are very strong players, of course, and it's you're playing in rapid or blitz, which is a bit more random as well than classical. So this sort of thing can happen. But I mean, it's an extraordinary achievement all the time to knock out Magnus and also Hikaru in a rapid or blitz. I mean, that's quite those are really good performances. So but it's good. Somebody different will win a tournament for once. Never bad. Pardon me, but for all that, it can't match the drama of what we're going to see today.
Mickey's lining up to maybe.
This is Bogdan against.
I was just looking at Mickey. Yeah.
We'll have a little look. Have a little look later. So c5 here. c5, interesting move. Played before black plays knight d7. So yeah, that's an interesting plan. Not the first thing I would have thought of, I have to confess, but I'm wondering whether it's a little bit. I mean, I think the point is simply of c5 is that obviously black is not going to take on c5 twice, and playing c5 this early means black can't go knight d7 because we simply take the d pawn. So yeah, I mean, this is quite interesting. I wonder whether it's been played before. I mean, the natural move for black, you know, the first thing that you'd look at is queen e7. I mean, we can play maybe a move like rook c1, and then black goes knight d7 anyway. I'm not sure. Takes, rook c7, and then rook c8. No, maybe rook c1. Yeah, this could be an interesting little line actually. Certainly, black's got a few non-standard problems to solve. I mean, there's also knight c6 as well. Not the normal square for the knight, but on the other hand, now that white's gone c5, you can play the knight e7 round to d5. I mean, you do have to look out for these sort of ideas, knight e6 and takes here. But at the moment, it's nothing special, you know. But these are ideas that could be interesting. But I think knight c6 from black looks best, and I'm kind of wondering what is Bogdan's idea here. Because in principle, if you get the knight e7 round to d5, you'd be fairly happy. I'm not 100% sure. It's a nice idea, c5, but I'm wondering, you know, knight c6, what he's got planned there. But Diamond Ort is thinking, so that is always positive. Mickey, you wanted to see?
Yes. And also, just to let you know, I've heard from Ketty, and she will be free at 7:30 to come along and talk to us about her win in the women's event this morning.
She's not playing in the Blitz then. That's
not playing in the Blitz tonight, but we could have a little check-in at the Blitz around about that time.
Lovely. So what has Mickey done here? Yeah, bishop d6, queen d6, knight e5, knight fd7. You kind of expect f4 here from white. I mean, this is, but Daniel Fernandez has played knight df3. So I'd say, you know, white's playing very cautiously here. Really not rocking the boat too much, I would say. So yeah, be interesting to see what Mickey does about this. I think, yeah, I think it's the idea maybe after knight c6 you want to take on d7, and it could be that actually. Knight c6, you want to take on d7 and then go bishop b5 and try and get this position with knight against bishop, which Magnus has played, and this type of position, and managed to win it. I don't know. You know, to me, I just think I'm yawning already as I see it. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I think fair to say, you know, it's quite a cautious start there from Daniel. Let's have a look. We've got Gunslinger 222 against Twills 3. And it's another Magnus Carlsen variation that he played as. What color did he play this as? As white or black? I'm not sure actually. So it's a Cambridge Springs Queen's Gambit decline. This move Queen A5 is a Cambridge Springs, and then white played a pretty aggressive line there. Takes, Bishop A3, Rook C2. Black swaps off the light squared bishops, which is quite a good trade really, because that light squared bishop obviously pretty blocked in by the pawns. So not a bad trade at all. Castles, C4, Rook Fe8, and now this move Bishop F4, which is quite nice actually, just stopping E6 to E5. And in principle, black's doing fine, but somehow these pieces are a little bit offside. Well, black withdraws now with Bishop A3, which could have been trapped. So bishop back, and at some stage, black will look to play C5. Got to be a little bit careful about c5. I mean, d5 can be a powerful pass pawn, but at the moment we'd have something with like e5. But that's going to be the plan eventually. So,
cool. Question from the crowd is: "Let me think. Positionally busted." So this is board 14, Declan Shafi against Chris Finn. And
Oh, where's Let Me Think?
Waldsman is suggesting that Chris might be busted.
Where's Let Me Think? I saw him.
Bottom. Declan
There we are.
Shafi with all the numbers.
Nah, it's not that bad yet. It's just a stone wall, So it should all be fine for black. For example, now, I mean, if you go Queen F3, little tactical puzzle for you. What does black play in this position after Queen F3?
Oh, you're going to do C4.
Indeed, C4. So
Covering an attack. Oh, hang on. Does that work though? C4 takes bishop E4 takes F5, and we can't take anything big enough to make up for that queen being on at the end.
Indeed. So actually, it's a little bit high. The same follows actually after Rook F3 as well. So it's a little bit. Well, Rook F3. I think I could probably just play C4 as well here. Actually, that's a definite possibility with the same trick.
Yeah, she better not take it this time. Oh, but then it goes C3. So yeah.
Yeah, no, C3 follows there. So it's we've also got this move is also a possibility. Knight E4, and then you can play F5 to block as well. It's not as dangerous as it seems normally, but yeah, I mean it's not you've got to watch out. But there's a few tricks up black sleeve that actually stopped you from being immediately winning like that. Let's have a look what happened on top board. No, on second board rather. So Matthew Turner against Amit Ghazi. So Matthew played Rook E1, which is I think quite an old-fashioned sort of move. Black went Rook B8, and Matthew Turner played Rook B1, which is quite a popular move. The idea is, I think the idea is that if you go B5, we would then, let me just show you. If black goes B5, then we would take, and we would go B4, and just try and stop all this stuff. And then you're threatening to play D5 next move. You're really clamping down on all these black weaknesses. So, but Amit played a very unusual move. He played Knight A5 in this position. It has been played quite a bit. The idea in a few different same as a few different King's Indian lines actually. So, attacking C4. The idea is you attack C4 first, and then you play B5, and White won't be able to play B4. So there's a few different ideas. Queen D3 sort of protects C4 and tries to restrict B5. Feels a bit nerve-wracking putting it on the same diagonal, but we've always got E4, so we're not doing too badly there. You could also go Queen A4. That's possible. That feels a little bit strange to me. B3 is possible, but I think we'll probably go B5 then. Knight D2 is possible as well, but just feels a little bit on the passive side. So interesting to see what Matthew will do there, which one he's going for. He's thinking actually. So I think this position is quite yeah. I mean, it's not certainly for Matthew. It's not super well known, I think.
Has the Blitz started, by the way?
The Blitz has started.
The Blitz, and then we'll have Ketty on.
Let's have a look. We got Lara against Dairy Queen against Lara
Okay.
G.
And so Dairy Queen is Petra Nunn, the
indeed.
wife of Grandmaster John Nunn, and she herself is, I think, a women's international master. Very strong player. She stopped playing for a lot of years.
There's a piece going down here.
Who's down? Who's losing a piece?
White, I'm afraid, because Rook takes D2 allows Queen takes B1 here.
Yeah.
So we're losing a piece here.
Well, it might be the same. We were commenting earlier with Docky. He sometimes takes one round to warm up and then plays an absolute storming tournament. So maybe Petra does the same.
It's a shame, really,
It
because you
doesn't
had
go well, but yeah.
you could have gone Queen G3 the move before. Oh, guess this. On Queen G3 the move before, and then if Knight B3, you could have taken and gone Bishop D3, which would have been very
that
nice.
was
So that would have
nice, doesn't
been
it?
a trap, but this is a little bit more. It's a little bit more
Yeah.
tricky for Petra now.
Yeah.
But well, you know, I mean, it's
Early days in this tournament. Early days.
early days in this tournament, and even in this game. I
In this
mean,
game, yeah.
things can happen in Blitz. So it's yeah. I mean, we're going to see how it's all going to go there.
She started. My chess 51 says she started playing when she beat me.
Ah,
No, I should know who my chess 51. Tell me who you are, my chess 51.
it's F6 from Black. So yeah. I mean, well, there's still chances in this position. We'll see how that goes. Let's have a look at Shorey.
Sure.
Black against Olivia Smith, who we've
Okay.
seen quite a
So
bit.
Olivia, we saw playing earlier, and she did well actually in the women's event. If I remember right, she was equal third. Yeah.
So looking quite good here for White. Pawn up and a weak pawn to attack.
Yeah.
I guess Black should, Black's counter. Oh, I think that I'm not sure that was the right way to do it. Rook B8 was probably a better way to counter attack. Maybe there was still B4 in any case. So Rook B5 is super safe. And at some stage, oh good lord, White's going to play B4 here, so that could be quite tricky. That's a strange move, Rook B7, because we can just take, and after Rook F4, go Rook F5. So that's a bit of a mistake from White. Still an advantage, but Black's still surviving. Let's have a little look what else we've got. Imogen Dyson against Photo Chess. Oh, this is quite a complicated ending. Black a piece up, of course.
Yeah.
But always tricky with a knight against Paul.
Link to follow the Blitz. We've got a link to follow the Blitz games, I think. The standings. Let me just see. I'm working on it. Right.
And we're having a look at Amy. So Lily Chen against Amy Hall. I don't know. Oh, Lily Chen, I guess, against Amy Hall. This is a rook and pawn ending. Another one. Black better.
Yeah, Adam E. It's just in the usual place, chessresults.com, and you can find one of the sections is Women's Blitz, and it is updating, so it's got all the results from round one.
Also, Trisha is playing against Lisa Kistaneva, who's one of the top seeds, I think.
Yes.
Very exciting game. Very little time for both players. Black's got to try and work out, can you avoid perpetual? Not super easy. Whoa, the king coming up to G6 here. Queen E4, all very sneaky move. Oh, King H5. Wow, look at this. White definitely keeping her nerve here. Oh, Queen H2, Queen E5. Not bad. King G6, Queen E4. Draw by repetition. Well played.
Okay.
Found some great squares to put the queen there, because it would have been, with very little time, would have been very difficult to. It was not easy to find the good ways there. So well played. Let's have a look. I'm going to see one of my favorite games.
Did we see Nina?
We haven't seen her yet, actually, but
go for it.
No, I can't see her in there yet. Fine. So this is Thomas Villiers against Tristan Cox. So knight d4, c6, castles g6, rook c1. So we've got a few weaknesses around there, but nothing too terrible is happening for Black yet. Black's very, very solid. So I'm sure Tristan learned something from playing against Matthew Turner yesterday, and he's keeping it tight at the back. Look at this. Rook c8, defending c6. No loose weaknesses or anything like that. And Tom's going to have to work hard to do something. I think Tom is going to go knight g5 next move, and then f4. I think that feels like something that Tom would do. So we're going to get an attack from somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, let's have a look at how Mark is doing here. So, hey, there's Ketavan. Let's put Ketavan
fantastic.
somewhere, I'm sure. Hey, Ketavan. Look at how Mark is doing here. So, hey, there's Ketavan. Let's put.
Hi, Katie. If you switch off the stream in the background,
yes, I think I just done that. Is that working all right now?
Yes, that's great. Very good. That's good. How are you? Congratulations, Ketty, on your win. You Grandmaster Ketty Grant, winning the British Women's Online Standard Play Tournament with 7 out of 7, just winning every single game. How did you find the tournament?
Yes, thank you very much for congratulations and for asking me to join you in the stream. Yeah, I'm actually very tired. Yeah, it was not as easy at all as the result may suggest. And yeah, I really had to work hard to win the tournament. So, I mean, some of the games were not straightforward at all.
Yeah.
So
which games did you particularly like?
Well, starting with the second round, I think I was very fortunate to win that game against Alice Lampard. And,
yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get.
She's also from Scotland, isn't she?
Yes. She is. So yeah, I mean, she played a very nice game, and it's only towards the end. I don't know what was happening when I looked at there were all sort of red moves from both sides. It looked like both of us were trying not to win that game. It was just, yeah, but yeah. So this game, the second round, and then, well, I suppose. I mean, it was fantastic to see so many young players playing in the tournament. Yeah. So, I mean, before the tournament, I was very scared. I thought, well, I mean, all these young players who play online all the time, and I thought I had no chance. And
we saw today you played a Czech Benoni, and we thought that was not your normal opening. Did you have a reason for picking that one?
Well, I have played it before.
Okay.
On few occasions. Yeah, actually, very first time I played it, it was in a classical chess, and it was in the last round of very important tournament, and that was meant to be as a surprise, and it was prepared the night before, and it actually worked very well first time. I managed to beat Ekaterina Atalik to win the St. Petersburg Women's Tournament. Anyway, and after that, I used it on a few occasions, mainly sort of Blitz. It works well for a shorter time control, I think.
Yeah, you quite like it for final round encounters, and it served you well before, I suppose. And
well, yeah, it's kind of takes out sort of theory. Well, there is a theory as well, but it's not like in a King's Gambit, King's Indian defense. So, well, it's just. Good to try something, but oh goodness, I got such a bad position. It was
crazy. It was crazy when the pawns came to d5 and c5. I was thinking, my goodness, but it's a great game. It was a really fun game to follow.
Yes, I did regret my opening choice, but
you managed to get a blockade. We were worried at one moment that White could get it so that you couldn't get the blockade going, and then it looked dangerous. But then she played it so you could put your knight there, and then we always, after that, we always thought you were going to win that.
That's right. Yes, I was relieved when I got that knight to d6.
Yeah, that was the moment where you
Yes, exactly.
But you played beautifully against Dagny in the third round. That was really very nice, I thought.
Yes, I think Dagny's opening choice was not the best from what I remember. So, yes, I was actually just trying to remember over the board, and I was quite surprised to see after the game that we were following the theory for quite a while. I thought I was on my own by this stage. But yeah, I guess she also maybe either misplayed something or forgot the line the same way as I did.
Yeah.
But she's normally E4 player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could see the difference because, I mean, you're a King's Indian player all your life, and yeah, you could see that you were all the moves, they were natural for you, but I think Dagny was just struggling to it wasn't her natural, quite as natural for her as it was for you. But I love the piece sacrifice at the end because I was thinking is this necessary? But it was beautiful, you know.
No, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's like, do I really need to do that? I was thinking for so long just to try I was trying to resist the temptation to sacrifice it, but I just could not. So.
If you're a King's Indian player, you have to sacrifice something. It's just it's just how it goes. It's
exactly.
So, Kitty, are we going to play any more events, do you think? We've only just got a couple more days left after today. Are you tempted to play in any of the very fast ones, like the Bullet or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm just so badly organized. And I did not know what I wanted to be playing. And so then I decided, okay, I'll play in the latest championship. And actually, I was taken by surprise that the Blitz was tonight.
Yeah.
And because first I thought, well, I'll just play in one event. And if I survive that one, if I still have any energy left after that.
Yeah, see how you feel. Yeah.
Yeah. And then suddenly my husband said, well, there is a Blitz. And then, I don't know, as a chess player, when you hear that there is a tournament, it's like, oh, can I play or should I not play? Or
yeah. Well, you can have a night off and watch the Blitz and see how everybody's doing. See the tournament as well. It's a really fun tournament as well. So you can you deserve the evening where you don't need to play and you don't need to think. And
I know that's what I think. Yeah. So and I will follow your stream and you're doing such a fantastic job. So it's.
Brilliant. Well,
it's good fun.
Hetty, thank you so much for coming on the stream, and big congratulations. Very impressive win there, just with 7 out of 7, some really nice games there. And great, and good luck if you play anything else, or else just enjoy watching.
Yeah, thank you, and all the best for year 2021.
Yeah, thank you.
It's going to be better. It's going to be better.
2021.
Thanks very much, Katie.
Thank you, Ketty.
Bye.
That's lovely. So that was Ketty van Arkamia Grant, winner of the women's championship, and a really class player. I mean, that's and she really showed it there. So let's get up to speed a little bit more with what's happening at the top there. So we've got a sharp line here, Queen D3, and then Amit Ghazi is sacrificing a pawn with B5. So we're still right in the middle of this theory. Black has actually played amazingly enough. The move D5 has been played by Black, which is quite often, which is quite a cunning little idea. The idea is that if you play D5 here, you're covering the E4 square, so you're going to get a little bishop F5 threatened and skewering the queen on D3 and the rook on D1.
Yes.
Another idea, though, is to play A takes B5. And normally white is not going to take that pawn. Why not? Well, quite a few reasons. There could be a bishop A6. I'm not quite sure which one works. A4 and C6. This is conceivably possible. And there's also a bishop F5, E4, knight takes E4. And if you take on E4 here, well, even D5 is very strong here. So so after A takes B5, white will normally plays his idea of playing B4. And black plays knight c4, and the game goes on. But it's quite sharp. I mean, the one thing about this line for white is that, having the having the queen on d3 and the rook on b1 makes me just very nervous. I mean, it's some sort of overhead, you know, that you have to think about all the time when you're calculating, because every move you have to check, oh, I'm not getting pinned, am I? Or there's not some pin at the end of a normal line that's actually winning something. So, you know, it's I'm not too keen on it for white, but we're still very much into mainline theory, and some very good players have played this. So we are going to see. Hebden up to speed.
Okay, let's see.
Ooh,
oh wow.
Well, this is all very aggressive. This, my goodness me. So what actually happened here? Well, black went for the full attack here with e5 and d4. I'm wondering whether this has been whether this is the way that people normally play it. Bishop g5, d4. Not really, no. I think bishop e6 is a common move here, but d4 is really the all-in approach. But was played by Laurent Fressinet in 2014. Laurent Fressinet is a Magnus Carlsen second, so he normally knows a little bit about his openings. E takes d4, and here black took on d4 with the pawn. Knight takes d4 has been played, but e takes d4 also a known idea. We're following some main lines here. Knight e4. I'm sure Mark knew this. I guess that his opponent knew it as well. Queen d5, knight e4, queen d5. So knight takes f6, gf6. Look at that. It's a very aggressive line.
Yeah.
G takes f6. Mark took up the gauntlet, took the pawn on f6. Rook g8. And now it's time for white to try and get developed. Now, actually, the normal move in this position, the move that's been played actually between a game, we're following a game Nakamura-Fressinet. Nakamura went queen f3, which actually does look quite sensible, trying to swap off the queens. Mark's knight f3 looks like certainly an over-the-board novelty to me. Let's see whether that we've ever had that in correspondence, whether the Fabiano Caruana called them the gods of modern chess, whether they actually have played this position before. Would be interesting to see. I don't know whether Mark follows correspondence chess at all. It's
I don't know. I haven't heard him talk about that.
But anyway, knight f3 is not in correspondence either. So so from now on, maybe Mark isn't on his own, but probably his opponent will be. So bishop takes c5, bishop h4, bishop g4, bishop e2, queen e4. Oh yeah, okay, queen e4, threatening bishop f3. Basically trying to get white to move this bishop away from h4. So bishop g3, and now castles, and then f5 from black. Looking for f4, bishop d3, queen d5, and this is quite. This is a pretty hairy position. This, well, I mean, actually, bishop d3 surprised me a little bit, just a tiny bit, because you've got so much pressure on f3, you know, to move the bishop away from here. But I mean, if you've got a good concrete idea, then that'll be fine. I mean, black's threat here at the moment is to go f4. Oops, is to go f4. So curses. So if I went, you know, b3 or whatever, I go f4 takes, and the bishop takes f3.
Yeah.
You've just got to watch out, because there are ideas like bishop f5 at times, you know, so if you can just get the pieces just in the right order, this could be a brilliant sacrifice. But here, black, of course, has got rook d7, so that's not going to work. So we need to find something against f4. King h1 is a pretty obvious way of doing that. You do have to watch out for moves like here and rook f8, because this can be very dangerous. I mean, we're attacking this bishop on f4, and if bishop g3, we go rook takes f3. So king h1 is a natural move, but might be a bit dangerous. what else do we have here? Well, it's not entirely obvious to me what white should be doing here, actually. I mean, okay. I mean, rook e1. I'm just trying to work out whether you could do something clever tactical, because so bishop f3 is always one idea, right? Because if gf, I've got f4.
Yeah.
But we could in these sort of circumstances we can take. No, we can't even actually f4.
Oh, F4.
I was going to say bishop f5 check, but king b8 simply. I mean, this is not actually working here. So so is rook e1 bishop f3 just winning for white, for black rather?
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's absolutely flabbergasting.
So maybe you have to put the bishop back again. Yeah, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah. This is
admitting you.
This is starting to get a bit worrying. Then I mean, bishop b2. Maybe you'd go something like rook e8 or something, and you're going to have still threaten f4 and then rook e2, bishop there. I am wondering actually.
Queen d2.
Queen d2. Yeah, I mean,
And go into f4. In fact, couldn't you just go queen f4? So, like after bishop takes f3, couldn't you then go queen f4 before you recapture?
That's a very ingenious idea. We can go bishop d6. We can go bishop d6. Well, no. This is all very unclear actually, because you do actually have. I was thinking queen f3 takes and then f4, but you could actually have the old queen f5 check here, king takes and then take here. And there's no pawn anymore. Yeah. So this could be a stroke of absolute genius. So bishop f3, bishop f3 rather, queen f4. We could go rook g3, but then you'll go bishop f5 check.
Yes.
And then you're forced to self-pin, and then I'll take something.
Yes.
Maybe take this. And, well, it's not clear.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Because if bishop g2, you take on d7.
Well, it's 3 pieces for the rook, for 2 rooks. So it's sort of in principle material's quite good, but your king's open. So I mean, this is very unclear, right? I mean, you probably don't take it immediately. You probably go something like rook e1 and just. I mean, this is a total mess. But that is a pretty interesting way of playing. Now, what I'm just wondering is what happens if. What happens if I just sort of go rook d7 or something and just deal with a threat, and then I'm still threatening bishop f3? I'm sort of wondering. I mean, you can unpin it.
Can I move my knight? Yeah.
You can move your knight to h4. It's maybe interesting. This I could also go bishop d6 as well, which is slightly worrying. But probably if I go bishop d6, well, bishop f3, this is not so tempting. Bishop g2. Well, I could go bishop f5 check there. Takes. It's decent compensation for black, but I think queen d2 is a good move. I think that's the... but Mark's gone king h1, which I thought was rather dangerous after f4. I mean, bishop f4. F4, bishop f4, rook f8. Ooh, good lord, rook f8 looks quite tricky to me. I mean, queen d2. I've got bishop f3. I mean, anywhere really. I've got rook f3 here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't take that.
Well, I mean, I can play bishop e2 in this position, which is bizarre. I've got to avoid this one because I've got queen h5 and bishop e2.
Yeah.
But I could play f takes g3. That is possible. It's not wonderful. I mean, but you've got 2 pawns. I mean, your pawns aren't great.
For a rook.
Yeah. You've got open files as well. So it's just I'm a bit worried that stuff like this, knight e5, and you're going to end up with a huge knight on e3. But You never know. That might be possible. The other idea would be to go bishop h4. It's just that this sort of thing is making me really nervous now because we're going to play rook over to h6, and very quickly you might just be just be losing this bishop. For example, I mean queen e2. I can go bishop f3, and if you go queen f3, I just take and go rook h6, and this guy's gone.
Ouch.
So it's risky, right? I mean, that's just the thing. It's just very, very risky.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But f4 looks quite dangerous to me. I mean, Mark played king h1 quite quickly, but I think your queen d2 was possibly a very, very good move, actually.
Hmm.
'Cause I can't really think how else Black could do that. He's played f4. Knight blockade has played f4.
So this is looking a bit scary for.
It's a bit scary for Mark. Let's hope he's for him that he's calculated it okay, and that he's really onto it there. Let's have a look at Daniel against Mickey. So what actually happened here? Mickey went knight c6. Okay, Daniel didn't take on d7, which was what I'd expected, sort of. Actually, it was probably not very good. Looking at it again. bc, bishop d3, takes. c5, h6, and Mickey took the interesting decision to play c4 here.
Okay. Yeah.
Quite a good one, I think. Bishop a6. I mean, if you go b3, then rook's coming to c8. I mean, Black's actually getting the open file first. I mean, who knows whether this is really anything for Black? But on the other hand, you never want to give Mickey anything with Black, So rook b8. I would say that Mickey's a tiny bit better. I would say nice, pressure on here. And if White tries to resolve it, then Black's got more pieces developed. So I say look, the Black has a slight advantage here, but we'll see what Daniel makes of it. But yeah, not an ideal position to have against Mickey. He plays these types of things really, really well. You can't really do much about it. Oh, B unit against Diamonaut. B unit is playing at top speed here. And what actually happened? So knight c6 indeed happened. Takes, rook c1, knight b4 was played. Queen d2, knight d5. So
He's playing instantly, isn't he?
Pretty true. So he played. He got this. Now he played e4, and this is slightly better for White. This type of pawn structure. It's kind of deceptive. You sort of think, oh, well, Black's doing fine. These are always. Is Mark in the chat?
Yay!
Hey, exactly. Very late indeed. I was going to say Mark. But we were doubting you. Were you going to turn up? But
you've missed so much stuff already.
So much stuff already. Great to see you though, and welcome to the chat as always. This is a slight edge for White. If anyone's got a slight edge, it's White here. But I think it's also quite nice against Diamonaut, to be honest, because Diamonaut's quite a tactical player. So I think this sort of thing is might be quite unpleasant for him to deal with. And Bogdan is a very good
for you. Would White want to swap if he was able to engineer it, the D pawn for the E pawn, leaving Black with that with an isolated passed D pawn?
Yeah, that's very nice. That would be very nice actually. That would definitely be a good result. I mean, I think so you
could do something like D5, E5, and then put your rook in on C6 or something. So that's sort of thing.
Yeah, you could try that indeed. I mean, you can also just try and put pressure on the E pawn. Just line up, play F4. Quite a few nice ideas. It's a slight edge for White. Nothing huge, but if you want to frustrate your opponent, and Bogdan's a very good technical player as well. So I'd say I'd expect Black to have a few difficulties here. And you can see Black's spending a lot of time here. And certainly against quite tactical players, it's often a nice thing to play this sort of thing. It doesn't look so much, but they just get frustrated because they can't find any lines. They can't find any tactics or anything. So I think a decent choice. I think for Bogdan and the slight edge there. Now Julia is doing great stuff. So let's have a look. Whoa! Look at that. Julia's going for it, definitely. So so we've got this IQP position. The slightly odd one where Harry let Julia play Bishop D7 early on. It didn't make too much difference because Julia went Bishop G4 later, which might be Harry's point that the bishop will probably move later anyway, so it won't actually be a loss of tempo. But now Julia playing Knight H5 and going for it here. Nice play in general to put the rook on E4. It's often one of those things that one of those outposts that you do use for the rook. Now the only thing that you're wondering a little bit about is are there any tactics coming with stuff like this? I imagine not. I imagine that that Black's probably got it all covered. Probably. I'm wondering about this. It doesn't look like it should work, but I suppose you could just go rook takes d4 here, couldn't you? That would probably be a little bit nasty.
Pawn takes.
And then knight b4. And if queen e3, then we go knight c2.
Okay.
That could be quite... we could have a draw by repetition there if we wanted, you see, just here and here. So, because if you go over to c3 or something, I go bishop e2. So, yeah, so knight d2, that's... I mean, there's that at least. Maybe there's more stuff, I don't know. But, oh, actually, yes, there is. There's only knight takes d4 would probably be quite decent as well. Could go bishop g4 there, but then rook g4. No, the rook's a bit exotic, but you've given white an isolated pawn as well, so it's probably quite decent. So yeah, good aggressive play from Julia there. Nice to see. Let's have a look. I'm going to go back to. Oh, look at this! Oh, hey, we've got a PSAC. We've got a PSAC against Tristan Cox.
Oh,
yeah.
Good,
I'm going to mention it again. It's very unfair, but we had a game yesterday between, and it was Tom O'Gorman against Harry Grieve, and he said this is going to be one of those games, you know, that really gets the crowd thrilled, and it turned out to be a really solid and correct and well, let's just say it, boring game in actual fact. So, but I said this one, Hack Attack against Rock Troll. It's got to be good.
I gave the players instructions last night. They had to play exciting games.
So Tom indeed played knight g5 and f4, and after c5, which is a very decent move, knight f5 was played. There we are.
Is that?
I mean, this is actually we've got to tweet this. This is an incredible idea in actual fact, because I actually assumed the bishop was already on d3, but it's not. See, he just put the knight en prise on f5. G takes f5, and then now he's following up calmly with bishop d3. That's a great concept.
Oh, hang on. Bishop d3. Let's see this. So takes the knight on f5. Bishop d3. Can Black somehow block with like knight into e4?
Well, you've got your queen h5s coming in. This is really dangerous, actually.
Yeah, I see. With mate on h7.
So I'm just going to just give me a little moment just to tweet that one, because oh, well done. I have to say that both Rock Troll and Tom Villiers Hack Attack, so Tristan Cox and Tom Villiers, they have really, I mean, that's that gives you a huge pleasure, you know, for seeing how they're playing. Wow, Tom Villiers Hack Attack, really going for it.
They're getting into the spirit of it.
Against another
hacker.
Another hacker. Rock Troll. Caplin online British Chess Championships. Lovely. Look at that.
He doesn't plod his way through a game.
Nah, fantastic. There we are. Fantastic. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So In we go. So knight d takes f5, bishop d3. So yeah, I mean, if we go, oh, what a gorgeous game this. We'll have to follow some of the women's blitz as well.
Yes.
But we've got to have a quick look at this one because I mean, both good.
So you can't defend that pawn on f5.
Well, no, I think if you go knight e4, I don't know for certain, but I mean, something like knight h7 seems very dangerous, right? Because queen h5, I go queen h5, and I've got queen h8 mate. So you're going to pick up some extra material somehow. Whether it's, I've no idea whether it's enough or anything, but you're not just stopping the attack there. So d4 is very reasonable, just to block this diagonal. But bishop f5 now, and
sort of we've got one pawn for the piece so far, but
yeah, and a lot of threats. I mean,
what are we threatening? Knight f.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you precisely what we're threatening. It's just I'm feeling scared just looking at it. Yeah. Actually, what I'm not understanding very well is how does Black bring pieces across to his king? You know, that's the that's actually a very, because I can't move this knight. I mean, knight d5, you know, to try and take this one or to move one across. I'll have some queen h5 or something. You know, I mean, it's huge. So I can't bring this knight across. And
so maybe White's threatening to take on d4 and open the diagonal again.
It's very slow, but it's definitely going to be one idea. The nice thing about e takes d4, just to assume a silly move, is that you're actually threatening rook c3 over to h3. So this is really, from that point of view, this is very. But I think, I mean, the point about e takes d4, though,
you can't defend it just by moving the knight, because then the rook on c8's on.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about you can go c takes d4, because if bishop d4, you'd have a bishop c5 maybe to swap things off. Although I know that in this position, Tom would take on c5 with the rook and carry on somehow. I mean, this is extraordinarily dangerous. I mean, it is a wonderful sacrifice. It really is. So, I mean, I think if you're going to say, you know, what is your obvious go-to move, it'll be rook e8. That's what you're going to do. And now what is White going to do here? I mean, you've got various immediate sacks, but yeah, I don't think those are going to be any good. What lines have you got? I mean, e4 is one idea, just to follow up with e5. E takes d4, obviously, is another idea. I was actually wondering about rook f3, just to go takes, queen takes, and I'm getting my queen over. You know, that's possible as well. But I mean, what are we going to start with? Let's have a quick look at e4, because that is actually quite interesting. I mean, knight f8, we play e5, knight d5, queen h5. It's a sort of line against this sort of line. You sort of think maybe we should be just giving back material, and but this is quite. Yeah, I'm actually wondering. You're always taught not to move your your pawns in front of your king, but I'm actually wondering about playing this move, just going h6 and putting the question to the knight, and then seeing what White is actually going to do about that. Because if I can get in h takes g5, you know, then I can play maybe, you know, play a knight to e4 or play a bishop to e4 somehow, you know, get some somehow manage to free up things a little bit. Because White doesn't have that many pieces in the attack yet. I mean, they're you know, they're threatening stuff, but so maybe
go backwards at this point.
I can't imagine Tom will ever go backwards, to be honest. So, but what could we do here? Well, I mean, let's say e takes d4. Let's just go for it. And then I'm going to go c takes d4.
Yeah.
Because if you go bishop d4, I might go rook c1. And the nice thing is I'm distracting the queen from over here. So actually taking like this might be quite good, because you know,
pieces now, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm going to have a move like bishop c5, for example, you know, just to swap things off. That might be quite decent. I'm actually thinking that h6.
Yeah.
That's feeling like the move to play. I mean, it also, also stuff like this. I could take, and I can go knight e5. Great knight on here, and this one's blocked. So
you'd have to take on f6 then and try and come in on h5, I suppose.
Yeah, but then you can sort of. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tricky, but I feel like you're sort of solid. I mean, we could take on c8 there. This is not stupid. If the queen takes, then black's queen is moving away a little bit from the attack. But on the other hand, queen c6 is going to be in there. And what are we going to do? Maybe this move h6 is sort of
puts a damper.
I'm pretty sure that Tom will play something like h4 then. But I mean, rook f3 is also quite interesting. Takes. And then the question is, maybe you're just going to play calmly. Maybe you're just going to play knight takes f3, not give away all the pieces, and then just say, well, I'm going to bring my pieces in calmly. And this is always going to be some sort of weakness. But I think h6 is a good defensive move. So let's have a look. Has anything happened here? Has anything happened? Rock Troll has played it. h6. Wow. Okay. It took him 11 minutes, but he's done it. So we're going to see what Tom does. I'm really intrigued here. Wow. Now, next time the women's blitz comes up, we'll switch over to those.
So round 4 on board 1 will be Trisha against Maria.
Okay. Wow.
An exciting match, so we can have a look for that one. And we've also got on board 5 Nina against Shorey, which I would also think would be a lot of fun to follow.
Fantastic. Wait a minute, just saw Mark quickly. So after bishop h4, black played rook d8. So we were thinking that rook d6. That rook d6 was maybe very strong. The rook d8. So Mark played h3. Yeah, because the bishop, would have some squares there free. So black kept the pressure on here. Yeah. The one thing that this does have is, rook takes g2 becomes quite a threat here. But Mark played c4 here, trying to chase the queen away from there. So still a very sharp game, this one.
That's on, presumably.
You can take it en passant, indeed. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure what Mark's intending against that. Well,
if you haven't got a trick with a check, I don't think you do.
No, you haven't got a trick with a check. But what you maybe could do is to meet d takes e3, bishop takes h7 here. Okay. So discovering an attack on the queen and also attacking the rook. So black doesn't have any chance to do any of these bishop f3s. And if you take, I'll take here. I'm also covering g8 now. So rook g2, king g2 doesn't work at all. And if black goes something like rook g7, I'll just go bishop f5 check, and then take on c3 after. So this
you could go bishop f3 though, couldn't you? When the queen. Just right at the start of that, couldn't you go bishop f3?
Bishop f3, I'm trying to go queen f3. So queen f3 takes, and then rook h8. Take on b2 you want to do?
Yeah, I want to try and queen my pawn.
You want to try and queen your pawn?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose I could go GF, but that does look that doesn't look very promising.
Then I could put bishops with queen h5.
Yeah, no, I mean it's looking really grim. That is. Okay, because if BC, I kind of think that we certainly got to have a look at rook g2 here. It's not totally clear. I mean, we go rook g8, bishop g3, but it feels like, I mean, even something just like bishop d6 or something. I mean, there's bishop f5 here. I mean, it's maybe this is super fraught. I mean, if bc3 is your idea, then it really is super fraught. This you're really hanging on this by your fingernails here. But okay, I mean, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's probably not. It's not a loss. I don't think it's not like it's losing or anything. But rook g2, king d2, rook g8, bishop g3. I mean, the point is any knight e5 pins, we've got bishop f5 check, so that would be all right.
Couldn't you take twice on f3 and then do it?
You could, but is that going to be so good? I'll
counter the pieces.
You're rook down so far, so
even if I take on d3 and then g3, I'm still material down.
You're still material down there. Yeah, and I mean this resource that after bishop d6 you can go bishop f5 is kind of crucial actually. Yeah. But you know, if that's if it works, then well, yeah, I mean it's just it's awesome, of course. I mean, you do start to worry about ideas like knight d4, and if takes, then bishop d6, you know, stuff like this, because lining up on this one is quite scary. But who knows? Maybe then you can just give up material with queen e1 or something. I don't know. Scary. But oh, we've got some Blitz games, women's Blitz games. So let's have a little look there. So, Secret Superstar, Amy Hoare against Trisha. Kanyamara.
Amy Hoare against Trisha. Trisha against Maria should be.
Oh, this is Amy Hoare against Trisha.
Oh, we're on round 5 already. Okay, round 4 went.
So C3 Sicilian. Trisha playing a line that's recommended by Katronias. E6 now is the normal move, and oh, knight b6. Okay, this is the slightly older main line. White's got several moves here. Bishop b3 and bishop b5 is the most normal. I've had some games like this in the old days. Okay, bishop b3. I think d takes c5 is supposed to be decent if I still remember my theory. And then d5 and then knight a5 from black. I seem to remember this was pretty good for black. But
yeah, I played this as white and I don't like it.
Let's have a little look. Alice Lampard against Olivia Smith. So we've got a Budapest, a main line, and knight e4 from Olivia. Slightly early. I think you normally play king h8, and I think yeah, king h8 and then bishop g4 is more normal. But this is good positional idea. You're going to go knight c5, just to blockade this c4 pawn, and then get your bishop in. Maybe knight d2 again. That might have been a bit of an early reaction, I think, because you've got to work out where you're going to put your queen. Queen c2, but now the e2 pawn is hanging. So yeah, I mean, I think that black knows this, and this is already getting a little bit tricky because obviously if the queen goes somewhere,
yeah,
you go knight d3. So you've got to play e4 indeed, but now we're going to go rook e8, probably.
Black.
Well, I'm wondering because you can go castles, knight takes e4, and then the question is f3. Wow, that is daring. That is really not believing. Well, maybe it might just be a very good move. You never know.
What if you drop back the bishop?
Well, I mean, if white, if you know, whilst white is still uncastled, you'd like to do something. Yeah. Dramatic, really, but I'm not quite sure. Can you do it? I mean, you could play a move like just like bishop e6 and then follow up with knight a5 takes c4. I mean, I think that is probably the most sensible line. So just bishop e6, and if castles, I go knight a5, and I'm regaining my sacrifice pawn. And and you know you've played moves like f3, so your own two bishops aren't fantastic. That is maybe the most sensible. Black's going for something a little bit more original there. Bishop g6 and knight e5. Some counterplay for black here, but the normal Budapest counterplay in this position.
How about the match on board 7, which is the match between the two arbiters, Shorey Bayat and Arga Milufska?
Okay, so it's actually quite a sharp. It's quite a sharp one, this one. So white under a little bit of pressure here with on the pawn on b2, but black under pressure with the pawn on e6. So which one is going to be more important? I am kind of guessing that the pressure against b2 is a bit more annoying, because after fe6, I think we're also threatening a little knight e4. Oh, but black's going for it big time, taking on b2. Right, well, I'm going to play e7 here now. And what is going to happen? Oh, e takes f7. Okay, also possible. How should you recapture here? Rook f7, I think, is natural, just to cover the 7th rank. Otherwise, rook e7 follows. And then what is white going to do here? Well, we've definitely got the possibility of going rook e8 check here, which is actually rather dangerous. Let me just bring up an analysis board there. So rook f7, we can go rook e8 check. And obviously, if knight e8, rook e8 check is going to be mate there.
Oh, yes.
So, and if I go rook f8, then quite a few different possibilities. I mean, I could go is that possible? Well, maybe rook f8 first and bishop g6, threatening rook e8 checkmate.
Yeah,
that's one of them. I could also go rook e7, which is maybe even better. And I'll go queen g3 at some stage and threaten mate on g7. So actually, e takes f7 was quite a fine move, actually. You could, with black, you could decide just to play queen f7, and after rook e7, just take on c2. And you've got a piece for the rook and piece for the queen, and also you've still got your threats here. I think that would be the most sensible thing to do. Okay, black played rook f8, so takes, and I'm sure that white's going to play bishop g6 next now. Yeah. And then we've got to work out some way to defend this this threat against e8. There's a few ways to do it. There's bishop c6 looks like the most obvious way to do it, and then we could decide. I mean, there's sacrifices even like this, for example, which is not speculative, but slightly scary. I mean, stuff like this, you go d6, and you've got this queen a8 check all of a sudden. Yeah, it's quite scary. This.
Okay, what's he got? Queen for 2 rooks.
Oh, white went passive there with queen d1. Oh, white blinked.
No.
b3, bishop b1, queen f4, and now knight f3. So, well, knight e4. Yeah, black's really going for it now. How are we going to do this? Can we do anything here? Well, we can take and go. Oh no, queen a1. Queen a1, I was hoping, but rook a2 blocks everything. So, I'm not sure. I think this is looking very difficult for white now. Black only got 24 seconds left, though. So, I mean, you'd love to find some way to hit this rook on b2, which doesn't actually have a square, but I don't know how you're going to do it. Maybe you should draw. Wow. I think I was pretty sure that no, I was pretty sure that that black was much better there. But well, a draw between arbiters. Maybe that's the only. Let's have a look at Raylin. How's Raylin doing? White against Lily Chen. Doing very nicely, actually. Is she a pawn up there? No, she's not a pawn up, but a very big pawn on here.
Because of where they are.
Exactly. So how are you going to do this? Oh, clamping down on the opponent. Very nice. Not quite sure how you're going to break through, actually. Well, Raylin knows she's gonna go for a b5 some stage. Mustn't do it too early. No need to overdo it. King g3. This is good because obviously if black, I mean, to be honest, we can exchange everything now. Just take it. Oh, rook f2. This is great. I mean, if you exchange off all the rooks, then this is just going to be a win for white, of course, because you've got such powerful pawns. And to be honest, with the rook coming into f7, this should be very dangerous. I think rook f5 would be a decent idea here. Very nice. King e6. Just got, oh wait a minute, just got to maybe rook f8. Rook f8 maybe was better there. Just good to be able to give a check afterwards. Rook g2, getting the king across. Oh, rook e2. Oh, black's king is getting very active there all of a sudden. D7, 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 D7. Oh,
D7
no.
has tricks. If the rook takes, then rook d2, picking up the rook.
Indeed. Rook f2, rook g7. Oh, this pawn's. Oh, I already actually had no time. It's playing on seconds. Oh, and she lost on time. Oh, hard luck, really. Okay. That's hard luck. That was still quite unclear, this position, actually. No, probably very good for black, actually. So, but yeah, there was just one moment there where it might have happened. Wadsey. Yeah, actually, I wasn't able to follow Wadsey.
Oh, okay. If I can.
Wadsey 2-7?
Yeah.
Right, Welsh Tiger into Wadsey 2-7. So, what is this going to be? Well, this is a pretty unclear one, actually. So rook c5 is the threat. We can always cover it with b4. I mean, there's nothing, rook c5, there's nothing clever white can do. So maybe you sort of think b3, chase away the knight and then play b4 to follow up. This is a very unclear position. This pass c pawn is a big annoyance for black because it's the rooks are not going to be able to roam free particularly like that. It's going to be hard to keep white bottled in there. So I say this is very unclear. This one, yeah, it's. So
if white goes b3, you could maybe put your knight to e5, and then if you wanted to, you could blockade the pawn, but you're still threatening to. You just go b4 straight away, and then we can't.
I go b4. So go knight c6, and I go knight f3, for example.
Yeah.
And it's just the point is, you can't move the rook here, so you'll have to move the. How are you going to get your rooks active? That's the problem. You're beautifully blockading, you're fine, but actually doing something positive afterwards, I'm a bit worried about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, something like knight d2, you can try, but I don't think you can win this pawn by force. I mean, I think. You can just hold it like that, and then you've got to watch out because that knight might get into a bit of trouble. It's so I'm not sure. I would actually my feeling is that white is actually a little bit better in this position. That it's easier to play for white, but
it's slightly different because he hasn't got his knight on f3 yet, and he's just gone b4.
Okay, that's possible too. Possible too. I mean, I suppose he's thinking, well, I don't want this this knight to blockade the pawn. Yeah, that's also a completely valid approach. We're going to see. It's just that this these feel like a nice barrier somehow. These two, play e5 as well. Don't know, not sure. It's complicated game there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would have taken that decision to give the rook for two pieces there. Actually, let me have a look. Chris Fink. Actually, sort of white has got quite a decent attack here. It looks a bit like Tom Villiers' attack, but somehow he hasn't even sacrificed a piece yet. But I mean, let's have a look. What should black be doing here? Maybe rook c8. Knight e6 could be decent as well. G6 at some stage as well. Just it's dangerous. It's not finished yet, but it is obviously quite dangerous. Let's have a look how. Wow, rock troll. So after h6,
So how's this going? Oh, he's trying to get his knight to h8, but it didn't quite reach there. It just went as far as
exactly. So this was a nice, this was a very nice counter from Tom. This rook here and g2 behind it. So that cost Tom his queen.
Mm.
And now rock troll seems to be reeling in the point there. Knight on e4 is good. And now queen d2. So looking very, very good for rock troll there. So brilliant sacrifice. Brilliant sacrifice from Tom, but this one might turn out to I think Tristan has learned from playing against
goading these players into making unsound sacrifices because rock troll went a bit crazy yesterday.
Indeed. Maybe we're guilty of that, but let's have a look. If it goes viral, look at that. Well, it hasn't exactly gone viral, but it's done quite well. So let's have a look. Have we got any Blitz games? Not yet. So how's Mark doing? Whoa, look at this. Actually, he followed our line. He followed our line there. So c takes b2, rook a b1, rook h8. So Mark, bishop g5. Somehow Mark's managed to save his bishops.
Very good.
But Diamond North, of course.
Oh, and
b2.
Oh, and 2 b pawns, to be fair.
Indeed, but look at this, rook d4. So he is black is white's lining up on this f4 pawn. So we're going to have 3 against 3. It's just that black's got this sort of head start with the pawn on b2. So I suppose that something like, well, it's not so clear. Looks like it should be easy to get something to c1. Well, maybe it is sort of easy. I suppose I could take on g4. Is that right? Takes and go rook c8.
Sacrifices keep the crowd happy. So that's
exactly. Bishop f4, king 8, king a8, and rook c1 is quite a big threat, really. I mean, you can play with rook and 3 pawns against. You can just say, well, what the hell, I mean, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
There's or something. I'm not sure. F4 maybe. There's practical chances in it, but obviously, objectively, it's not.
In this.
Yeah, no, it's not enough really. So, but we're going to see what Mark comes up with. A tricky guy. I mean, he's also threatening rook a4 here. So there's a definite, there is a definite threat to drag away this bishop. So I think black's got to actually do something now. But I do fear that he is actually able to do it and get a rook onto c1, which looks quite dangerous. But I mean, you could even actually just play knight g4. I mean, f3 might be an idea just to, but then you can do something like rook d3 and just chase the bishop away from a3. So I go rook c8. So imagine bishop f4, king there. I could go rook. Nah, wait a minute. This g4 pawn's hanging, so you've got to go something like g5. And now, I mean, I could go. The problem is there might well be loads of ways to improve it. I mean, I could go rook f8, threatening rook f4 and rook c1. But then I could just go king g2. So I don't think it's... now rook c1 takes. And then, yeah, rook g4 maybe.
Yeah,
tough one. It's gonna take a while to do that, but well, I don't know. I think Mark's in there fighting. He's got much more time as well, so anything could happen there. Tom Gorman back. Oh, yeah, of course. Ooh, let's have a look. Bishop d5. Mickey is better. Mickey is maybe winning. So, I mean, he's got quite a few moves here. I mean, rook d2 is minimum, right? Bishop c6, rook a2. and he's just a pawn up. So, but maybe a difficult one to convert. The question is, can we do? I mean, knight b4 here actually, attacking this one and this one. But if you go knight b4,
You go knight c4.
you go knight c4. That's right, and you don't actually have a good way to attack something in return. c3 is possible, with the idea of obviously bishop c6, c takes d2. But you play the knight away. Maybe you go knight e4 or something, and well, I don't know, c2 here maybe. Interesting. Do we have anything better than knight e4? Well, knight b3. I go knight b4 here. I'm going to have knight a2. Ooh,
You just take the pawn on c3 with the rook.
Indeed, and I go knight b4.
And then you go knight c4 again.
Yeah, I've got rook b1 check though.
Okay.
Knight d5, picking up a piece there. So I think that's winning a piece actually, because you don't have a rook c8 check or anything. Rook b3, I go rook d2, or yeah, rook d2.
Rook b3, rook 2. Yeah, and
yeah, rook b4, rook d5. I mean, it's just winning there. Yeah. So I think that works. And where else can I put the knight? I mean, the point is I'm getting into knight b4 and then c2. So maybe knight e4 actually. Yeah, I mean knight e4. The idea was knight b4, knight c3. You know, and I'm protecting everything. But if I go c2 here, then takes rook b1 is just completely winning. So yeah. I suspect that this is just work. Knight b1, no, c2 still. Knight a3 and knight b4. This is still looking bishop e4 maybe. This is fraught for black. This is for white rather.
You finished, Tristan. You must have won that.
Yeah, game. Well played, Tristan. Well played. Yeah, we were totally shocked by knight f5. It made Twitter, I'm afraid, but well defended. Well defended. That was h6 was a very good defense actually. That was really good. Just really just putting the question to white's pieces. That was absolutely excellent. This might work. C2, knight a3. But I could go just so bishop d3, you know, with the idea, well, yeah, I mean knight c2 would work anyway. So knight b4 looks natural, and then we can go bishop to e4.
Okay, lining up back rank threats if we need them.
Yeah, I mean, if knight c2, we've got rook c2, and if rook a2, we've got knight c2 as well. I can't believe it, to be honest. I mean, is this really working? Bishop e4, because knight d3, there's rook c2 as well. Bishop d3, we just take it and rook c2. So, yeah, it could be that c3, knight e4 is actually working there. That would be actually, from my feeling, quite lucky. You assumed you would try knight f5. I think you were probably the only other person in the world, Tristan, who thought. But that's what we'd expect of you as well, Tristan. Just both of you somehow would
be right in that game, because then you've got the pressure on you to try and attack and sacrifice.
It's that was a great game. Knight f5, we loved it, and but h6 was a really good defense. That was really good. I think this is working. I don't think this is winning actually. So Mickey has actually gone for the old takes rook a2 there.
Yeah.
Oh, he played rook a5. Huh?
Yeah. Rook a5. So if takes, we're going rook c5.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Huh? What is this?
Wait a minute.
Maybe was he worried about rook a4? Huh? Was he worried about rook a4, rook b1 or something? Was he worried that this was? That's a really weird.
Has he thought of a trick?
Well, I mean, he might be playing. Maybe he thinks the rook ending is playable somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, was he afraid of rook a4, rook b1, or did he think that these were just never going to move? The white might just play e4, e5, and bring the king in. It's possible. It's possible. But feels strange. Feels strange to go rook a5. Especially, I mean, off the draw, Mickey. I think he missed.
Maybe he just wants to.
Oh, maybe it's a misclick. It's possible.
Maybe.
Because I think Mickey would normally play this on, but it might well be that he's disgusted with himself for one reason or another. I don't think he'd missed rook c5. So I think the mouse slip theory is a good one. I think.
Yeah.
Because it seems very odd. I mean, it does seem strange to do that. You know, with when you've got a I think it was maybe a mouse slip, that was. But anyway, Mickey keeps the lead, but it means now that Matthew Turner has got a chance of.
So he would need to win this game in order to catch up with 2 games to go, and they've played already.
What is?
Yeah, Mickey beat Matthew. So Matthew's games have all been decisive so far.
Indeed. So what is the position here? So in general, I don't think that Amit is doing badly. I think he's doing quite decently here. Got to try and decide how you want to do this. I mean, this b2 pawn is fairly doomed. So he's decided to go queen b2, which is pretty good, I guess. So if queen c7, I guess that we can play rook takes d5 here. A little bit risky, but queen c7, rook d5. The idea is knight f2, knight d5, really queen f2, and queen f3 mate. The question is, can we knock the queen somehow? Because it does look a little bit risky, this one. Rook b1. No, we could play queen a2. And this bishop is covering this square, so that's not so stupid. Wow, could you just do this? Because you're threatening bishop takes e3, so white's got
knight g4.
Knight g4. So I suppose, have you got a threat there? I mean, I could play h5 maybe or something.
I was thinking we could go on f6 and then take the rook on d5 was kind of the
plan. But that's the same as taking the rook on d5 directly. With I've got this queen f2 again and queen f3. I don't know. This one's quite interesting actually. Let's see what he has done. It rook takes d5 indeed. So this is quite a crucial moment actually. I think if either you're going to find something immediate to get to a drawn rook ending or something like that. Oh, are they playing Blitz? They're playing Blitz.
Yeah. Okay.
Secret Superstar. I think we've missed most of it. But Trisha against Imogen Dyson. Rook. No, this is going to be.
Oh no. Sorry. No. Wait. Let me get the right section. Women's Blitz.
Rook e2. Oh, I think they're not going to agree at all, are they? No, king there. Well, king g1. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Rook b2. Well, rook c5. No, bishop f7. Trisha trying to keep all her pawns, but a4. I think that was a blunder. There. Oops. Rook c2, maybe. No. Rook c5. Oh, there's a lot of pawns gone now. Rook e4. Oh, bishop d5, rook a4. Oh, we've got rook and bishop versus rook now. Oh.
No, not fun for Blitz. Not fun for the players anyway. It's fun for the spectators.
So, how are we going to do this? Question is, does white know her rook and bishop versus rook, and does black know her rook and bishop versus rook? Rook b4. Well, we'll come back to that one a little bit later. We'll just see, because Lily Chen against elite player Nina Pert is white and seems two queens and doing the old lawnmower there. Queen e1, queen f2, queen g1, and queen h2. There we are. So well done, elite player Nina Pert, who's having some a great time there at the moment. How is Trisha doing?
She in the tournament she had 2.5. That'll take her to 3.5 out of 6. So a slight plus there. Have we? Seen, is Zoe Varney against Amy Hoare still going on?
No, that one's finished. Zoe Varney won that one.
Okay. So the only one left is Trisha.
Indeed, yeah. So doing quite a good job. Now got the king.
Lisa Kristineva. We'll see if we can catch one of her games. She finished it very quickly this round. She beat Olivia Smith this round, and if she hasn't played Trisha already, I expect they will play. No, she has. They drew in round 2.
Rook h6 now. Rook h6. King there. Rook h6 check now anyway. King c7, king c5 now. This is getting quite dangerous. Rook, getting quite dangerous now.
Yeah, it looks dangerous.
We're heading for the Philidor position soon. Bishop d5, very good. Oh, rook c2 is dangerous. King d6. Is this a Philidor's? This is maybe a Philidor's position, I think, actually. We've got rook checkmate. There we are. Sorry. That's not the normal defense, king c8. But yeah, that's looking good. Oh, Matthew's chances looking up, says
okay.
Wolfman.
Let's see it.
Let's have a look. Ooh.
He's got his...
Good lord.
How did that happen?
He won the knight somehow.
Oh, no, he's got his two rooks and a knight.
Oh, actually, b4, a5 happened.
Dramatic.
Actually, that was actually quite an important point, which hadn't occurred to me at all, that you could actually undermine this. Maybe that was the reason why you actually needed to play b3 and b4, because obviously a3, there's knight takes a3. So what actually happened here? Knight d3, knight d6, queen h4, rook c8, a6, knight f5, queen e4, rook d4, queen b7. Oh, knight d6. And white didn't want to play queen f3, but play queen d7. Takes an a4. I'm not sure what's happening there, really. Because I think, worst scenario, then Matthew's going to have rook, knight, and pawn against queen, which is great, actually. And okay, giving up the knight there. So Matthew just deciding that he's going to give the knight up rather than the queen. That's fine. That's all possible. It's just it gave me a little bit of a shock. But yeah, I mean, you're going to put the rook on a8. You're going to put the rook on c8, and then you are going to win that a7 pawn. And with 4 versus 3, that is just a win for black. So wow, a dramatic game again. Gregor Toshek's played a number of very good games, had a number of tough games, but there, I mean, that's just a blunder, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Chess Queen 960, Tashika Aurora against Oscar Idol. Looking quite good for Oscar there. So got this nice bishop coming into here, and plenty of threats here against the white king. And well, whereas white is really having problems getting anything going at all. So looking quite good for Oscar. His preparation at our stream this morning
has helped.
Jude Shearsby with white, queens and pawns against Oliver Stubbs. Looking pretty good for black here. Looks like, I don't know, was it a dragon? I don't think it was a dragon. No, it wasn't a dragon, but it looks like one with this enormous dark squared bishop. Yeah, I mean, white's got some pressure too, but somehow, I mean, you can play e6 to stop it, and well, there's a lot of dangerous things happening here. So unless White's got something really good, then I think that Black's doing pretty well in this position. Head changing. Oh, I don't know. Wow. He certainly spiced it up a little bit, hasn't he? So what are we going to do here? I think we are going to... well, I mean, he could play... Well, Mark's got plenty of time, so this is really good. So we've got two possibilities here. The first and most dramatic and pleasing is to, well, I mean, let's go through them in order in terms of material that we give up. We could play bishop b2, take some bishop a3, which would be fun, but rook h8 will pick up this pawn. So that's probably quite annoying. We could play rook b2, takes and takes, king takes and g5. And in principle, these pawns will not be stopped. Okay. So the question is b4, g6, b3. No, but White's too fast. g7. Has Mark. Rook takes b2 looks very good. g5. Yeah, you're not going to stop those pawns, and your king's actually in the way of your own, and your own pawns are a bit too far back. So I think rook b2 is good. I mean, the other way you could do it is to do something like rook h1, b1, takes. Takes. Well, you could do it this way, I suppose, and just go g5 or something. That's possible too, because h8 looks a little bit unclear to me. I'm not quite sure whose pawns are going to be faster in the end, but I think that rook b2 is just winning here. g5 and the pawns screen through. So, wow, Mark's had a tough time. This he's done it g5, but.
Okay.
Well done, Hebs. Well done, Hebs. He played that very quickly, actually, 50 seconds. So obviously something experienced players know, you know. So oh, should we have a look at a horsey chess game since she's doing well, right, in the Blitz? Yeah,
horsey chess. So she.
Oh, did people want to see Ella Vine? Was that what we got a request for?
It's the top board because we haven't seen her yet. Lisa Kristaneva. So show rate against Lisa.
Not yet up there. So we'll just have a little look at Zoe Varney.
So Trisha's a point ahead. So Lisa's on 5.5. Trisha's on 5, and then the next one after that, there's a few on 4. Zoe, Olivia, and Elzbieta Vine.
Okay, we'll have a look. We've got Photo Chess playing against a lot of London systems coming in. Simon Williams has got so much to answer for.
Playing Amy Hoare. Haven't seen her yet this tournament, so that's interesting. Good to see her playing.
Let's look. We've also got Slow Sloth Olga Latipova against Agnieszka Milewska. Okay. So a great username there, Slow Sloth 26. And I'm just trying to see whether we've got Dairy Queen just starting there. So that's Petra Nunn, yep. White against Relin. So two people we know well.
Yep.
I'm still looking for the board one. I can't see it yet.
Let me see if I can see it.
So Petra Nunn playing in the Nunn style, which is open Sicilian. And is she going to castle queenside? Go queen d2 and castles. Relin playing a very early b5 there.
3?
3.
I've got it. Let me.
What's the? I don't have it for some reason, but.
Let me. I'll type it to you.
Bishop b2, knight f6, attacking the pawn on e4. So White's could decide what to do here. Book. I'm not getting it up, or is it? I'm wondering whether I've got too many windows open there. So let me just close a few analysis windows. Bear with me whilst I do this. and I'll just maybe we'll get a few. Charade. Oh, right at the top. Sorry, move right at the top there. So this is looking very good for black here. We've got 2 pawns up.
Yeah.
Knight coming into to G4 now, and Rook F2. So
in this tournament, half of
indeed. So
of Trisha.
That's looking very, very good. Let's have a look. We've got photo chess against Amy Hall. Slight advantage here.
Yeah.
Karina SC against Alice Lampard.
Playing in some of these matches against other countries. So we did a match, I've forgotten, UK against, what was the match against? South Africa we did, and she played in that one. So she has some 3-minute and 2-second practice.
Okay. Oh, White's definitely got an advantage here. Threatening C6, and if you go Knight C5, both captures actually quite.
She had a fall or something at one of the seniors tournaments, and had to go to hospital. But I think she's recovered from that.
Yeah, let's so let's have a look. D takes C5. Yeah, Knight takes C5. Or Bishop takes C5 even is going to be strong. Knight takes C5 is the obvious one. So yeah, that's going to be good, I think. So let's have a look. Where are we going? Elite player Nina Pert. Whoa, Nina Pert. And actually, Bishop D2. This is what she had against Dagny in the last round. And Knight E7. And she played D takes C5. Indeed, same opening she played. I think Dagny went Knight D7. Here Black took C5, and she went Queen G4 and F4, and going quite aggressively.
She had a very nice game against Dagny, didn't she? And
she did indeed. It was
finished in serious circumstances, but she had a lovely position at the end.
Yeah, no, she was definitely doing very well at the end there. So. Yeah, this is a slight advantage for White, I think. Knight D4. I mean, we just need to. Oh, Bishop C3, spicing things up.
For it.
But the F4 pawn is loose there, so that's.
Would she then go Bishop F6 after?
I'm not sure. Bishop E3 takes F4, so that's a little bit of a little bit of a downer there. But okay, I guess she's going to go Bishop F6 now. Got some pressure because the bishop can't develop there. She's got ideas like Bishop D3 takes G6 at some stage. Oh, D5 pawn's going now. Maybe I think Black probably did this on purpose just to just get the bishop free. But it's a risky one because this diagonal is open now. So let's have a look. How is this one going? Oh, good Lord, look what's happened here. Petra has sacrificed a piece there to draw the black king out.
Yes.
What is happening here? This is crazy. Queen G3 check, maybe. Queen G3 check is quite decent. Queen G5 tries to keep the king there. Rook D1 from Petra. Well, Queen G5 is probably going to be F3. Oh, I'm not sure about F3 there. I think Queen G5 would have been quite... still a very, very unclear position there. Wow! Black Raylin taking the pawn, no fear there. The Queen G5 check. I was expecting Bishop G6 just to block everything, but got to watch out now because King F8 allows Queen D8 checkmate. So E8 is the only move you can play because F6 allows Queen G7. So King E8. Rook D2. I would have taken on G7 first because Bishop G6 possible now. The only thing you mustn't forget, this king can't actually castle, so there's still going to be some work to do here. Black's actually looking vaguely solid. I'd almost fancy moving my A pawn forwards.
H4 and H5.
h4, h5, h4. I'll probably block it when you go h4.
Yeah.
Rook a7. So that's a good move in principle. I'm wondering whether Queen e5 was possible. Forking b8 and g7. That might have been a little bit awkward. But c5, rook c7. So trying to get in Queen c5 there. So okay, Petra defending that pawn now. Maybe now's the moment for f6 and king f7, just to get the king out of trouble there. It's all. Let's have a look. Elite player has actually. Oh, elite player has won there with.
Nice.
Indeed,
Bishop's still there and managing to.
Yeah, a couple of the things there. Oh, Maria lost to Amy Hoare there, so that was surprise. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know. If you look at their ratings, then Amy's got a very good rating there. What else have we got? Well, Dairy Queen against. Sorry, I can't hear you, Natasha.
Against Zoe.
That Secret Superstar against Horsey Chess, that was a win for Trisha.
Nice.
So
okay, so it's and did Lisa win in the end against
Shore?
Oh
no. Queen takes c5, blunders the queen.
Oh,
and now a rook's gone as well. Rook on c7. Oh, Raylin, short of time. All the pieces going there. Oh, hard luck there. That's but well fought, Petra, for the win there. But dramatic game there. Oh, let's have a look. Matthew Turner against Amit Ghazi. Matthew is probably losing this rook ending. Looks like. So always difficult when you've got a rook in front of the pawn and black's rook is behind it. I mean, this pawn is going through. So Amit just needs to create some holes on the king side. White will try and hold it, but eventually you're going to get outflanked. So this should actually end up as a win for black.
Tristan's looking forward to next round and playing Amit.
Excellent! Lots of pieces to sack there. You got 16 on your side, Tristan. All of them can be sacked.
Just watch out. Amit's a good defender.
So this is this one hasn't moved for a while, it feels like, but we haven't looked at this one yet. Peter Finn against Tom O'Gorman. Black's lots of dark squares, pawn down, but lots of dark squares.
Where the country does Amit come from? Because I was making all these things up, and I don't think I was right at all.
He's an old school friend, and he knows everything you play. Never fear. It's you know everything he plays as well. It works both ways. Oh, look at this. Julia against Harry Grieve. So a big attack going in. The king also helping in the attack, but I think this one's going to be parried now because Harry just giving up a bit of material just to hold the attack. So it looks like Harry is going to emerge on top for that one. Gunslinger against Thomas Wills. Is White a pawn up there? White is a pawn up there. It looks very similar actually to Mickey's game against Matthew Turner, and looking quite good there for White. We're going to move the pawn up to a6 is basically going to be the plan now that we've got the king nicely contained there. Mark Hebden has won. Well played, Hebs.
Very good.
Well played, Hebs. Well played, Hebs. That's very good. Sean the Prawn against Chelsea Kings. Sharp game. Sean the Prawn had a good opening, but it looks as if now it's really struggling because a pawn down and a powerful bishop and a bad king here. So looking tough for Sean the Prawn. Ooh, look at this bishop.
Gosh.
It wasn't a dragon, but it does, as Mark said, it does smell like a dragon. And this is going to be terminal for White. You just can't deal with all those threats. Queen a2. There's going to be rook b8 and rook b3 is going to be it's going to be killing there. So yeah, it looks like Black is going to get that one. Oscar Oscar Idol against Tashika Aurora against Oscar Idol. Well, let's have a look. Lots of pieces there in the attack. I would say that Rook H2 would be my my preferred choice. We've got threats of Bishop G3. We can also, line up. This looking very bad for White there. Whoa! Now Declan Shafi has obviously been following Rock Troll's games and Tom's games because he's sacrificing material now. This is looking very dangerous indeed for Black. I would generally say my natural reaction would be just go for it. Let White show everything that he's got, really, which I'm not 100% sure about. So if we go, there's all sorts of danger, of course, but oops, I need to have a look at this one. Doc. So Rook D8. I'm guessing Knight F6 because I don't think anything else works. King F8. And now we've got some checks around here, which could be annoying, but they're not terminal. We've also got a check around here. I don't want to go King E7 because Bishop F6 would be annoying, but I'm just going to go. King E8.
Okay.
And I don't actually see a win here for White. Knight F6, King E7, Queen B4. I go Queen D6, and I'm blocking still. I'm threatening to come into here. So King E8. I mean, we can go back to F6. I could go back to F8. I could also just go to E7 then in that position actually. And yeah, again Queen B4, Queen D6. I mean, White's got well, this H pawn is quite powerful, of course, but Black is not hopeless. Black's not without chances. So I'm just wondering whether there's something clearer for White. I don't think Queen C2 works. Rook D7. I mean, you could go Queen here, Rook there, check here, and I mean, Bishop A3. I'm just going to put the Rook on D6 in the way. Bishop F6. I was assuming because we've got a check on the back rank that this is going to be too much, and it must be, of course. So no, I don't think that's going to work. So I think it's got to be Knight F6, King there.
Immediate Queen B4.
Yeah, I can go Queen D6. And then I suppose you could take off and go Bishop A3. And if King E7, then we're going to be 2 pawns up, aren't we? So so I'm going to go Knight C5 then. I suppose we could go Bishop D4 then, couldn't we? So that is actually, yeah, Queen B4 looks very good, Natasha. That looks very good. I suppose the one thing we could do is go Queen E7, which is odd, but Knight H7, King E8, and just say, okay, I'm waiting there. I'm waiting there. Not clear. It's I mean, it's good, very good attacking chances for White there, but not clear who's going to emerge at the top. Let's have a look. He has gone Knight takes H7. He hasn't gone Natasha's Queen B4. So King E8 has been played. So I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. It doesn't even have to be a draw by repetition, right? Because here we could even go King here. Actually, we should really go King E7. Otherwise, I think King F8, Queen B4 will be annoying. So, so yeah, we should go King E7. I think. Interesting what's going to happen there. Oh, we've got still got loads of games going. So, Matthew Turner. That's interesting. So, Amit brought his rook over, and Matthew's played F5. Interesting. Tough rook ending this now. King's quite well placed, and the rook's got loads of ways of exchanging off stuff. Wouldn't surprise me if this one had moved a bit towards the drawing zone, to be honest. But that's though. Having said that, that is a good move. You want white to play h3 so that he can no longer go rook h3 to h7. That's a very good idea there. And actually, the rook is quite well placed on here.
Black could now what, take on f5. Oh no, we take the check. That's fine.
Yeah, we take the check there. So I mean, we want to try and maybe we go back to e4, or we go to c4, d4, e4. Tough. Not going to be easy, this one, but obviously you might black with all the chances there. Oh, we've got some more 3-minute games starting. Just check. We haven't looked yet at Fisher Fan. That's Tanmay Chopra, isn't it? Against UK chess bomber Balaji Aravamudan. And well, this is why does the exchange up? Exchange and a pawn up, I think, but fantastic dark square compensation for black. So pretty unclear, this one. It's you could imagine black being able to do something, getting the queen in and attacking like this. So interesting stuff. Lots still happening there. Let's have a look. Photo chess. Maria, sorry. Nina Pert against Maria Emelianova, and wow, look at this one. A tricky opening, I think, from Nina, and already the e pawn is at black's throat, and actually white's already a pawn up here, so looking like knight h6 played by Maria to take back there. But d3 indeed is quite a nasty move there, threatening bishop takes h6. Maybe we can just go. Maybe we can just go g6 here. This could be possible. Just preparing to take back with the bishop on there. Maria's played it. Experienced player. You don't panic, even when things are coming at you, and you just try and work your way out of them. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, h4 looks quite interesting for white. I would have thought even a g4 maybe could be interesting. Lots of interesting stuff there. But bishop takes h6 is pardon me, is I'm not sure. That's a little bit an h4. Yeah, I think maybe you could have just gone h4 straight away, you know, and just not waited for that one. But let's have a look. We've got Karina SC against Shoaib. Quite even. Black's doing pretty well there. Equalized quite comfortably, looks like. We've got Imogen 10 against Lisa Kisneva. Sure, fine, whatever, against Imogen Dyson. Again, looking very strong for white here. Pawn up and a big knight on d5 here, which you might well be forced to take because I'm not quite sure whether you can really avoid it.
And
sorry?
If black takes, you have to recapture with the rook, I guess.
Oh, knight f6 check is going to come in now. I think. So this is completely winning actually, because rook d7, and then bishop b7, and then queen c8 there is going to be mate at the end. So always going to win everything. So yeah, looking good for the leader there. Who else have we got? We've got Olivia Smith against Trisha. So Trisha mixing it up here with a knight coming into c4. So if d takes c5, the idea is to go knight takes c3, which would be very nice. So rook d1, that's quite a good reply. If takes there, we'll take back with the pawn, and we've still got a chance of getting quite a good pawn center there. We're a little bit sensitive on the dark squares, but that's not too bad. We've got Alice Lampard against Horsey Chess. What is this position? Quite even, I think, although these pawns are going to get quite dangerous. We've got a threat of d5. So I guess black's going to play rook d8 here. And then maybe we play c4 as white. And yeah, I think, you know, white's probably got a slight advantage there, I guess. C4 would be my choice now. Because I think if you go knight a5 afterwards, I could probably go bishop f4, which might be annoying. So looking slightly better for Zoe Varney, horsey chess. What have we got? We've got Ray Lin against Agnieszka. It's been quite an aggressive opening here. A couple of pawns sacrificed. Pins all over the place. Is Agnieszka going to get out of it? Well, it's a tricky one to call, this one. F5, that's quite... do we have bishop c4 now? And bishop c4 could be very dangerous here, threatening rook takes e6. That could be huge. So we're going to see whether Ray Lin can find this. Oh, rook c1, also a good move, but not quite as powerful, I think. Well, although where is that king going to go?
Yeah.
King to f6. I'll give a little check. King to f7. I'll go rook c7 check. So that was also a very good move. g5. Ooh. Rook c7 check. Just wins on the spot.
Yeah.
Actually, bishop b2 would have been probably even stronger, but well done. Ray Lin's spotting it. King g6 will have rook e6 coming up then. So, yeah, king g6 will have rook e6. That would be really, really good. Because then what you get to do, you get to save your bishop with bishop e2 check, and then you take on h8 and you're up the whole house there. So looking very, very good for Ray Lin there. Who we got? We've got Ella Vine. We've got Amy Hoare against Elspeta Vine.
Yeah.
This is a wild one. There's queen d2 check coming in.
Looks nice for black.
Queen d2 check coming in. This is looking good for black. King f3. Well, queen f2 mate, and here queen h2 mate. So well played the black player Elisabetta. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Ooh, look at this one. Rook h7. Looking very strong indeed. Yeah, h4 check now. It's mate in 2. G takes h3, rook h5. Oh, bishop f6. No! Knight f6. Oh, Ray Lin.
Should be still okay, right?
Well, I think it's the shock is going to be quite big there. Rook f7 would be very good still. Come on, Ray Lin, move. No. Oh, h4. G takes h3. F4 check. Oh, rook f7. We're still going to have it's still very dangerous here. I guess rook d6 would be is probably the best choice for black here, but we've got rook f6 now. Oh, rook f6. Oh, k7. It's all so little time. It's really short of time there. Oh, good lord, knight g4 is going to be dangerous now. Attacking f2, knight d5. That was slightly fortunate. Well done, getting rid of that pawn. King takes h3. Oh, the drama of Blitz. Oh, we could have gone f4. F4 now, get the pawn safe. King g2. It's actually still winning for white now. King's going into c3. Rook on a light square, very good. Always good to do that. Rook on back on the dark square there. F3, that's the right move. That's probably a good move there. G4, that's what we're doing. Let's have a look. How are we going to hold this? King g3. Bishop d6 check would be useful, I think. B5, sneaky little trick there. Oh, no, Ray Lin. Oh, f6. F7, but it's now she's worse. I don't know whether she's losing this, but I would have thought she probably should be. But F5, knight C1. Okay, move the bishop away. Ray Lin, bishop B6. King B2. Unfortunately, the pawn is going. So well, all you can do is just keep on going. Don't take the knight. Move up. That's good. Oh, what a drama this game! It's terrible. Peter Lako said about I think Anish Giri made a move with 1 second to spare, and Peter Lako said something that was very amazingly true. Ray Lin, well played. You've managed to hold the draw there. Fantastic. He said you can't do this to your relatives. And I was just thinking because you said, didn't you, that Ray Lin had told her relatives that she was playing and that she was maybe going to be on the stream. So, the emotion that you have when watching it. My mum always said, when she was watching me in Time Trouble, that it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. And I do apologize for that, I have to say. Let's have a look. We had a lot of games finished. Matthew Turner drew with Amit Ghazi.
Okay.
So that's a very good result there. Wadley did indeed beat Gregor Toshek there. So a very good victory there. We've got a few more games going. Jonathan Blackburn against Thomas Wills. Jonathan's doing a good technical performance there. Looks like he's just going to win this rook ending. Rook takes a7 now would be very sensible, and that's played. Plenty of time to do it as well. We've got and we've got the Finn brothers still playing. So we've got oh wow, look what happened to this one. This it's 2 bishops and two pawns against rook and knight. But Chris Finn is attacking.
Okay.
What are we going to do here? We could actually just take on here, I think. And after rook takes, we go king e2. The amazing point is that rook takes king e2. If rook a1, we go bishop b2 check.
Oh yes, yes.
So now I just so I mean rook h1 is possible here, but I could maybe go bishop b7 here. I just like very much the idea, you know, of having the 2 bishops, getting the queens off, and then just you know, trying to win pawns really. But I don't know. That's possible. Knight g5. I mean, what else could you do? A little bit nervous about putting my pieces too far away from my king. But I mean, in all fairness, bishop b7 might be okay. It's just I'm a bit worried that we're going to get moves like, you know, not yet queen c2, but that sort of thing, you know, and suddenly you end up thinking, oh my goodness, I've got no mate and my pieces. I'd really like to exchange off those queens, I think. But Chris has played bishop Declan has played bishop b7, fearless. So we'll see how that one goes. Then we've got Peter Finn checkmate a lot against Tom O'Gorman, and this looks like this is going to be a draw because it's just an opposite color bishop ending, and I don't think either side has got much hope there. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at Chris's game. Oh, queen c2 was played. Queen f2 is possible now, but then you're going to go queen takes and rook d2, and you're getting this pawn on a2, which you wouldn't have had earlier. You see. So this is suddenly, well, the 2 bishops always are tricky, but certainly Black is going to feel happy with this. And Declan's a little bit shorter of
Blitz is up now as well, and so top board is Lisa against Lily Hahn from Germany. And
indeed, Oscar, the Carlsbad structure, one of the most fascinating structures in the world there. So it is indeed torture watching Guitar Man. Yeah, no, it's absolutely terrible. I mean, when I was a second, you know, I mean, your player, the player you're seconding is virtually your dad or your brother. You know, the way that you feel about it. I remember I once I was seconding Joël Luthier 95 Amsterdam tournament, and we had the game against Gary, and Joël was black. And I'd prepared, I found some great line with some amazing variations, and I showed it all to Joël. And then Gary, you know, sort of, so I watched him, you know, straining at the ball, and then he plays a move. And I thought, oh my goodness, did I tell Joël about that one or not? And I couldn't remember anymore. So I went home in total panic, total thinking, oh my goodness, is this, you know? And I'm not sure I did tell Joël, but he worked it out. It wasn't the best move, and he worked it out of the board and beat Gary, you know. So so then everything was great, but I went through about an hour of hell, you know, just at that moment. Terrible memory there. It's let's have a look. Checkmate a lot. This is going to be a draw. No doubt about that. And this one, this is still quite shocking. This is shocking. This is still quite. Ooh, King H5. My goodness, Chris. Are you sure about this one? I mean, Bishop E7 here, and we've got G4 with tempo. I mean, we're threatening Bishop E4 and stuff. This is really. Oh, Bishop E1. That's a bit passive. If this was Rock Troll, he'd be going forwards, you see. That's the thing. It's you don't go backwards like that. Rook A1. Ooh, Rook A1. This is actually quite a difficult ending to play for both players, actually. But this is
to bring the bishop back out, so you could do. Yeah, I hope they go onto a dark square now. And
yeah, so I mean, now you've got to go to H6 now. But I'm going to go Bishop C3 and Bishop F6. This is wow. There's a lot of mileage still in this game. I think it's going to be quite a thriller. I think it's the last game from the men's event, if I'm right. Now it is, because brother Peter has drawn with Tom O'Gorman.
Okay.
But yeah, let's have a look. King G6. So I'm expecting Bishop E4 check. Just that's the move. Come on, Declan, play it a bit quicker. Should I put it from the white side? That's probably a bit quicker. Come on, Bishop E4. Just whack it out. Oh, Bishop C3. Also good. I would prefer to play Bishop. I mean, he wants to keep the Bishop attacking the pawn on A6, of course, but I do feel like pointing towards the the Black King, and so what is Black going to play here? Rook A3 maybe. It's a little bit passive to put the rook there, but I don't really dare. It's a little bit of a minefield knowing where to put this rook. Ooh, Rook H1. Ooh, there's a man who dares, with a diagonal like that.
Yeah.
But I think I would go. I would go Bishop E4 here and King H6, which is the only move. I would now go Bishop F6 and Bishop F6. Oh no, Bishop F6. There's Rook F1. There's Rook F1. There's Rook F1.
So what about just moving the king?
Yeah, I think King G3. That's going to be the one.
So it's Rook G1.
Yeah. That's King F3, I suppose. Simply just King F3. Just it's we're going to go Bishop F5 and then we'll go Bishop F6. It's Bishop G2. That's a bit passive. That's a bit passive, really. Yeah, not. Oh, they're playing Blitz again.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Who we got? We start off with Elzbieta Vine against. Oh, good lord! Sorry, cancel. Wanted to swap the board round. Against Trisha. Trisha playing a tricky knight G4 here. So, Queen D2. Okay, so that's going to be the bishop pair for Trisha. So a nice little start there. Further chess against Zoivani. That's a 4 knights. Pretty solid, really, for white, but not a great deal happening, really. So it should just be an equal game there. But it's Blitz. Anything can happen. Imogen Dyson playing a King's Gambit. Castles, Muzio, go for it.
I'm giving up the piece as well.
Oh, F7 already. My goodness me. What is that? 95. This isn't. Is this legal?
This sort of thing.
It's the sort of thing you do, but so early. Bishop F7. I was sure it was castles first, and then you go, and then after GF3 you can go Bishop F7. But this is really early. But Queen G4, I guess we should probably do there. Come on, Queen G4 has been played. Well, I mean, this is definitely not pleasant for Black to work out if she hasn't seen this before. I guess Knight F6 is the move you want to play here. Queen F4 and then D6 afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best line. Oh, Queen F6. Okay, we'll go D4 now.
Yeah.
Queen H5 even. That is also very sensible. King E7 and then Knight C3 maybe. I quite like having Queen on G4 because we're stopping D6. That's the thing. But King E7. Okay, well Knight C3
makes it certainly Knight D5.
Yeah, so C6 will probably be the best move for Black, and then I would say something like D4 afterwards.
Yeah.
And I mean, what we're going to try and do is, I think knight c3, c6, d4, d6. We go bishop takes f4, and we just say queen f4. We're going rook f1 maybe, and queen e3, knight e2, and who knows? But we're going in there. Castles. Okay, but now we can go d6. That's less.
I suppose we can. Oh no, we can't still go knight c3.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying. This, yeah, it's a bit annoying. Either you played queen h5 check and win knight c3, or you played, or you played d4 straight away, and you know when you were here, and kept this pin on the bishop. You know, d4 was quite reasonable there, but this is not quite what you want. I mean, d4. That's probably what you've got to do in this position, and just just let it happen. Let's have a look. We've got Agnieszka against Lara. Agnieszka's lost the exchange there. Lara looking good so far with black. We've got Raylin against Shorey against Raylin.
Okay.
Let's have a look. So Raylin has won a pawn. The e4 pawn's gone. Shorey has got some. Looks like she's going to get it back there. Oh, knight g3, queen e5. No. Pawn piece has gone there. Oh, tricked. But I mean, stuff like this, it's never the end. Never the end. You just keep on going as if nothing happened. And but there's quite a big attack now with h5. So. And black resigned. Oh, hard luck, Raylin. That's let's see. How's good lord. Look what we've got. We've got two bishops against the rook now. A big passed a pawn though, so that is not going to be trivial. I would fancy here actually b4. I would fancy b4. I mean, what I want to do, I want to get him bishop d5 and g6. So from that point of view, b4 was quite nice, because if rook c4, we go bishop d5 and then g6 afterwards. So this one's lots of drama still in this one, I'm sure. Bishop d5 would be reasonable, but you're a bit slower now. You know, you might go king f8. So lots of stuff still to happen in this game, I'm sure. Let's have a look. Elite player Nina Pertz against Slow Sloth. Oh, Nina fell for she fell for a little rook takes c2, bishop takes f4 trick, which means that she's rook for 2 pieces down. Knight f8 is also. Oh no, Nina Pertz is black. So Olga Latipova. Sorry, Slow Sloth is white. So I was going to say Nina's very sharp on these tactics. So Nina is black and has a very good position here. So so I think sensible would be maybe to consolidate with g6 and maybe look to play f5 and then get the knight round h7, f6. Bishop d5 is fine too, but bishop's a little bit exposed to c4 there. So I would really want. I think just a nice solid move like this would be maybe better, but. Let's have a look. I get the feeling Nina's teeing up for a knight e6 here. She might well be. You've got to watch out though, because your king is a little bit vulnerable here. So
was she doing check?
Yeah, I think she's teeing up for knight e6 here now. Oh no, bishop f4. Okay. I mean,
I bet she might queen d7 and queen h3.
Yeah, I thought she was teeing up for knight e6 here to meet c4 with bishop takes g2. That was the king h2, knight f4.
Yes, very good.
I thought that was what she was teeing up for, but not. Bishop b. She's gone back to e6 there, but that's fine. It's a little bit of time wasted, but g6 is still perfectly good for black here. Dairy Queen against Alice Lampard. Ooh, white is no equal material, but a little bit of a bind. This bishop is this knight is not going to find it easy. Bishop b5, queen b3, I guess from black here. You need to somehow get your king to some sort of safety, and then you can invade with the queen. I think in principle, black's not too bad. Did we get a result there? Did
the bishop, is that the bishop, Declan?
What happened to Chris Finn?
He must have lost then, because it was Declan against Chris Finn, wasn't it?
Indeed, yeah, indeed. So, oh, look at that, bishop c6 check. The rook king got trapped by the rook there. Hard luck, Chris. Incredible fight there. Well played, Declan. It's had a tough tournament so far, but gets a yeah. Night, Tristan. We'll forgive you for leaving the stream early. I can imagine.
You are. It's 3 a.m. for you, probably again.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably allowed. Photo chess against horsey chess. Photo chess against horsey chess. So Maria is white against and 2 pawns up. And a bishop up. That's going quickly against horsey chess. So looking quite good and plenty of time as well. So looks like Maria is going to make that one. A Dairy Queen. A draw.
Okay.
I was just going to say that Dairy Queen has really managed to break open the position there, but then a draw was agreed. So okay. Nina Pert making good progress there. Did play G6 and F5 in the end, which was good. And this knight is doing a great job of protecting F7. So you're never going to be afraid of anything happening there. Knight c5, all possible too. Bishop g3 now is a very sensible move. A rook b2 I mean, the problem is the white king, the rook can't leave really. So 0-1. So well done, Nina Pert. And we're left with photo chess against horsey chess. Horsey chess has done a great job trying to get this pawn down, but I'm afraid this should normally be too much for horsey chess. H7, probably good enough too. Rook there. Rook h6 now will be very convincing. Rook d7 also very convincing. King b1, I'd probably give a little check there, but king g5 is good. And yeah, white is going to win that, of course.
Yeah.
So king g6. So what round are we on for the women's Blitz?
It's all over.
Was this the last round?
Round 9, yes. It's round 9 of 9.
Thanks very much,
Luca. Lisa lost the last round, so Trisha is the winner.
No, really?
Yeah. Lisa's lost. Lily Hahn beat Lisa.
Wow.
And so Trisha is the winner on 8 out of 9. Very good score.
What a score. Wow.
Yeah, fantastic. So Trisha, what did she do? She had 2 draws. So she drew with Lisa, who was leading the tournament for a lot of the time, and she drew with Maria, and then otherwise won every single game.
My goodness me, fantastic. So, really done, Trisha. And any other, where did Nina Pert end up? She won her last round.
Let's have a look at that. So Nina, she was on 3.5. She won, so she's on 4.5.
Great.
Just look at the standings. She finished in 12th. So we had Trisha first, Lisa Kristineva in 2nd, and 3rd Maria Emelianova. And then young players, Imogen Dyson and Zoe Varney. We had Olivia Smith in 6th, Elzbieta, and then Amy Hoare, Lily and Lara were the top 10, and Shuri 11th.
Fantastic.
Shuri was going to. I think she actually needs her sleep after a full day of Blitz and arbiting. So we'll catch her maybe in the new year.
Indeed. But sorry, Raylin. Sorry about that. we looked at lots of your games, and we were screaming and moaning and groaning and oohing and ahhing with all that was happening in your games. But well done all the same. It's but Blitz is tough. Sometimes you're in the flow and you're taking everyone's pieces, and sometimes they take yours. It's just how it goes. But still, you with all the thrills and excitement, you still featured on our stream. So that's well, that's maybe a consolation. I don't know, but anyway, more events to come, I'm sure, for you. Are you playing the Rapid, Raylin? It's that would be good. We'll follow you certainly if you are.
So let's the championship. Then all the games are finished, and we have in the lead on 6 points Michael Adams, followed on 5.5 by Matthew Turner, and then 5 points for Daniel Fernandez, Amit Ghazi, Matthew Wadsworth, Tristan Cox, and that's everyone on 5.
Okay, so still quite tight at the top with 2 draws for Michael Adams. There's still some stuff to play out. Indeed. So yeah, no, great. Well, thanks everyone very much for following. Thanks for all the comments.
And a happy New Year to everybody, because we have 2 days off, and then we will see you on the 2nd of January when the championship resumes. And actually, we've got a weekend because we are following a whole lot of stuff on Saturday and Sunday. The plan is to look at the Rapid Play finals and Sunday Play final, and hopefully as well the Bullet final, which is on Saturday evening. And then on Sunday, we've got the Women's Rapid Play final, the final round of the Standard, and if there's a playoff in the Open Rapid final, then we will look at that one too.
So there's going to be lots of chess over the weekend, but all you hardened chatters and watchers, you're well prepared for what's going to hit you on the weekend. So I hope we're going to see you all there. And yeah, I mean, just had a great time today. I think it was some excellent games. Lovely mix, actually, Blitz and long play. It's just makes a lovely little change from everything. Yeah, Richard, Happy New Year. Thanks very much for watching. And we will see you, hopefully, in the new year here at this place, watching more chess from the Caplin British Online Chess Championships. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.